I'm His Lordship, the leader of the Wilderness Guardians. Thank you for watching this short video. I'm here with one goal.
Again,
somehow I
the Scorpion.
Fuck with me or you will have nothing left!
There have always been two types of player, the PKer and the anti-PKer. In December 2003, a 15-year-old boy was collecting runes from the Dark Knight Castle when PKers rapidly charged and mercilessly slaughtered him for what little possession he had. Enraged by their brutality and wickedness, the boy decided to start an anti-PK clan. On the 6th of December 2003, the clan known as the PK PKers was born, though, in an ironic twist of fate, this clan would grow to become one of the greatest PKing clans in RuneScape, but not before the name was changed to the Wilderness Guardians. Hi, I'm His Lordship, the leader of the Wilderness Guardians. No one expected WG to last for more than a few days, least of all me. There was very little planning involved, aside from a temporary name, an avid gamers website, and a controversial recruitment post on the Rune Village fan site titled, "Read this if you hate PKers." Nevertheless, within 2 days we had gained over 30 applications. The concept of anti-random PKing, where we would only attack other PKers, was what made us unique. And that brought new members to our doors. We weren't the first anti-PK clan, but we gained the support of others, notably the Sabres, the oldest clan in RuneScape, who offered us an alliance. Our first PKing trip, then called a raid, had 7 Guardians all around level 35, geared in full steel armor. We collected cabbages at the monastery for food, but we didn't make it past level 15 wilderness, and half of us died to a level 40 PKer in Adamant. It's since become a tradition to reenact this first PK trip on the clan's anniversary. Gradually, the clan progressed, moving to envision-free forums and establishing a requirement of 60 combat. And we grew to around 200 members strong. We had our fair share of trials and tribulations as well, of course, such as a break-off clan called the Synergy, which grew to our size and comprised mainly displeased ex-WG. Thankfully, we managed to work out our differences and eventually became allies. Our first real war took place in November 2004. We had been insulted by the Rune Outlaws and challenged them to battle. But an unfortunate sequence of events led to a 3-way fight between us, the Rune Outlaws, and the Knights of Death. Nonetheless, WG exposed the Rune Outlaws as dishonorable combatants for wearing different capes and leaving the war zone, and the wider clan community came to our support and shunned the cheaters. The Wilderness Guardians had grown far beyond what anyone had expected of us, and we had experienced so much already, but there was still much, much more to come. In 2005, WG fought a clan called the Unbreakables. Both clans brought 100 members to the battle, and WG took the victory after 20 intense minutes. With this victory, the community started to heed WG as a force to be reckoned with. Yet still, misfortune accompanied our success. This, after all, was the year of the TeamSpeak rant.
This is the worst crime I have ever seen in my history of WG.
A backstabbing incident occurred during a PKing trip, and I had the brilliant idea of recording a rant to be played to the traitors.
Someone tell me what fucking possessed you to kill your fucking clanmates and friends. In case you didn't notice, I'm pissed off.
This recording quickly went viral within the clan community. To make matters worse, we also had a member called Axeman Jack who left our clan on very bad terms and dedicated years trying to drag the clan's name through the mud. But the most monumental event of 2005 was our war against Dead on Arrival. It was one of the first pay-to-play wars in RuneScape's history. The ancient magic spellbook had just been released, and Dead on Arrival waited in a death dot formation in deep wilderness, unaware of just how deadly this was. We sent our archers and mages in first, and caught nearly all of DOA's 100 members in a barrage pile. The fight, too close to call at any one time, was ultimately interrupted by another clan, but the video went on to attract critical acclaim within the clan world. Our success continued into the following year. We opened a junior clan called the Descendant Guardians and hosted a massive free-to-play war against the number 2 clan of the day, the Dark Slayers, with over 700 players involved. We defeated the Black Dragons, which put us in the top 5 pay-to-play clans. But, in a sad turn of life events, I was forced to step down from leadership and handed the reins to T-Mal34 and Twizzlers 300. The new leaders took WG to the next level. Training regimes were implemented, and the requirements were raised to 105 combat. The clan became a powerhouse, constantly challenging other formidable forces like Reign of Terror for the rank of number 3 pay-to-play. But a year ago, we were unheard of, and now we were in the top circles of the clan world. But our clan was going in a completely different direction to what I had envisioned, and tensions between the new leaders and I began to grow, and grow, and grow. On December 1st, 2006, I publicly shut down WG. It was the only time in our history that the clan has closed, and though it was only for a period of 3 hours, in the following days, over 100 members posted their resignations. The days of WG as a top clan had come to an abrupt end, and it was entirely my fault. But our story was still far from over. We started to rebuild in 2007, dividing the clan into 3 sectors: skills, fighting, and community. We also had new media, including a revolutionary recruitment video and an animated flash movie, which replenished our numbers. But despite our success, WG and the rest of the clan world suffered a devastating loss on December 10th, 2007, when the wilderness and free trade were removed from RuneScape. In the years that followed, when dozens of clans were closing, we coped reasonably well within the Clan Wars arena. Then, in January 2008, we tried something new. Coinciding with my vacation to Europe, WG had one of the first examples of a real-life meetup within the RuneScape community. This was years before Jagex hosted their first RuneFest. 7 members gathered together in London to shake hands, share drinks, and get up to some other interesting activities.
Right, long story short, Snowzack thought he was buying drugs and he bought tea.
Mocked at the time for taking the game too seriously, we nonetheless held our heads high and dared to build real and lasting friendships outside the game. Later in the year, we made a t-shirt. Like so many other quirky ideas of ours, this one received strong criticism from the wider clan community. But over 40 were sold within the first month. Since then, some have even found their way into Jagex's hands. 2008 was the year the community aspect of WG really began to shine through. In 2009, we defeated the Crimson Raiders, which put us back in the top 10, but we decided to hold back from going any further. In trying to support the Titans, we ended up in hostilities with Divine Forces and Violent Resolution, 2 of the strongest clans of the day. It was then that WG decided to withdraw from the drama of the upper clan world, and we haven't turned back since. We are the Wilderness Guardians, and we do things our way, regardless of politics, regardless of who makes fun of us or who tells us we are irrelevant or crazy or dead. We also started stepping out into PvP worlds and revitalized our alliance with the Sabres. But stability is a rare commodity in this story. Things were about to change for the clan once again. In 2010, WG entered a crippling downturn after suffering a defeat against the British Crusaders in the Great War. We didn't see a victory in battle for 6 long months, until the Battle of Turning Tides, where we finally defeated dangerous business and ended our losing streak. That August, Jagex hosted the first RuneFest, and WG seized the opportunity. We arrived with t-shirts, clan pens, and even a Golden Gnomes entry. RuneFest 2010 gave us widespread publicity and kickstarted our relationship with Jagex. We would go on to be featured on the RuneScape main page over 5 times, fight JMod run clans, and immortalize our status as one of, if not the most famous clan in RuneScape. The next year, the Wilderness was returned to the game. We reopened our junior clan and experienced some success within the game, but we quickly realized things weren't going to be the same as they were before 2007 when the Wilderness was removed. We first approached Jagex about it at RuneFest 2011. Over the next few months, Vio and I decided to undertake a project to document the story of the clan world. In February 2012, we released The Wilderness, an unauthorized biography. We no longer have what it takes to save ourselves, and so it is with dying breath that we utter these words. While the documentary was critically acclaimed, it took a long while for the proposed changes to make their way into the game. Meanwhile, our clan was still struggling with a declining membership. Ignoring the Wilderness, we stayed focused on clan wars and participating in the Jagex Cup. But in November 2012, the evolution of combat dealt another critical blow to the PvP community. Thankfully, this was not to last either. In 2013, Old School RuneScape was released. It was the dawn of a new era. Members who had long been retired came back through our doors. Every clan was in a heated race to reach the top of the pecking order, and WG was no exception. We would pull more numbers to fights than we had seen in years, in some of the most intense battles fought in a very long time. Our success stalled a little bit toward the end of the year, though in 2014 we took another shot at the annual Jagex Cup with moderate success. PvP remained fairly stable thanks to the first Wilderness rejuvenation. We also had an RS3 arm called the Silent Guardians, which merged back with the main clan later that year. WG became one of the few clans which maintained strength and activity across both versions of RuneScape. All this time, I was becoming increasingly pressured with real life, and I bestowed leadership upon Brent 147. He led the clan for the majority of that year, before stepping down himself and promoting Pineapple Tom and Mojo Hazard to the clan council. Today, Tom is the RuneScape 3 leader, and Mojo is the Old School RuneScape leader. The clan remained fairly stable until 2015 with the release of Darkscape. Within just a few months, WG had become one of the top clans in Darkscape, having 500 members. It was the closest we had ever come to reaching the power and glory we had long ago seized in 2006. But this too was not to last, as Darkscape was shut down in March 2016. We tried to repeat that success in Old School, trialing changes to PvP, including new gear regulations and increased requirements. We also formed the Justice Alliance with Vanguard and the Red Blade Hunters, in order to compete with some of the larger forces within the clan world. But these changes went as quickly as they came as well. For the vast majority of our history, we have had set requirements. Last year, in 2017, we removed those requirements. Our clan brings all aspects of our history together now. With the introduction of the Revenant Caves in 2017, we're as active in PvP as ever. You might have seen us there already, as we host PK trips almost every single day. We're not afraid of taking on other clans in battle as well. But of course, our events are optional. We're a casual clan now that doesn't ask too much of its members. There is PVM too, and skilling. Even our RS3 cohort is thriving, a group of friends to hang out with, who also happen to have a tier 7 citadel. And between both sides of our clan, there is no flaming, abuse or drama. We are, first and foremost, a family. We remember our roots, Though we haven't been anti-PKers for quite some time, we are one of the most honourable forces in the wilderness. Players and clans alike can attest to our honesty, how we always give clean and fair fights, and respect all our opponents no matter who they are. This is something we have come to be known by. Today, December 6th of 2018, marks 15 years since a clan called the PK PKers opened its doors to RuneScape's downtrodden players. 15 years on, and here we stand, the oldest clan in old school RuneScape. Together, we have experienced things that I could never have imagined, and we are still going strong. This is our story so far, and that story is far from over. We began as children. Now here we stand as men and women whose companionship is as real as any other friend is in our lives. We are the Wilderness Guardians. We are the shield of the innocent.